What up, everybody? It's your boy Agent, and we're back once again. As you can see with the hat I got on, you know we're here to talk about the North Carolina Tar Heels. Now I know I've been off about a month, not giving you guys any updates on the Tar Heels, but I wanted to let the month of February go by. Currently, as I'm recording this, it is March 3rd, and we are in the last week of college basketball regular season. Yes, it is crazy as we call it now, but I wanted to give this team a month together, put a streak of games together to see if they could get it on. Since my last video was January 28th, after a tough loss to a Pitt team who probably won't get to the NCAA tournament. In the month of February, Carolina decided to go 5-2 in the month of February, and then loses to Duke after and gets smoked by Duke, gets smoked by Clemson, the two best teams in the ACC. Lose by a combined 37 points in those two games. But with that being said, Carolina's able to they're kind of trying to pull themselves out the mud a little bit. Huber's trying to get it together, and they currently sit at a 5-game win streak. And I'm gonna read you guys off their wins. At North Carolina, at Syracuse 88-62, versus NC State 97-73, versus Virginia 81-66, at FSU 96-85, and versus Miami this past Saturday 92-73. And as you can see, they've smoked some of these bottom teams in the ACC, but you got to take care of business and win some of these games. Like I talk about, they finished 5-2 in the month of February. Finished well. Started this month well, beating Miami. But the biggest thing, Hubert Davis, we've talked about him. He's been on the hot seat. Like I said, it's acceptable for Carolina to be missing the tournament, for him to get to a bad start. Some of these games they lost this year. Some of the games in Maui. Some of these close games to Florida, to Michigan State in overtime. Some of these games shouldn't just be losing. Like I talked about this season, guard play was the biggest factor in this team. We knew they would be elite, but the big man has been terrible. Duke has one of the biggest teams in the country, and they just complete dominate us, and we just have no size. And I continue to harp on it, I continue to talk about it, and it continues to be an issue. But it seems like with the slight adjustment that Hubert Davis decided to do, Jalen Withers, who was a cog in last season's run in NCAA tournament and throughout the season. I know he took that one bad shot against Bama, and then the game just seemed to turn there and they didn't win. But he wasn't getting a lot of minutes, a lot of crunch time. But these last 5 games that they're 5-0, Jalen Withers has been put into the start lineup, and they have not lost since then. He gives them some size, some athleticism that they do need. He's 6'7", but he's super athletic. He spread the floor a little bit. In these 5 games, Jalen Withers is averaging 13 points per game, 7.2 rebounds per game, and he's shooting a whopping 65.6% from the field and 66.3% from 3. That is absolutely amazing. With Van Lubin starting, Jalen Washington's come off the bench. I think that is a better situation for him. It's less pressure for him. He can play better. Just that slight adjustment has helped. And then, like I said, we played some of the bottom teams in the ACC. But hey, gotta take these wins. You gotta rack up these wins and hope that you get NCAA tournament, because they were right on the outside looking. They're trying to get onto that bubble. They're trying to win. And with that said, you get really good chance to get back on the bubble. But you know what I'm saying. So that is what it is. They're 19-11 right now, 12-6 in the ACC. Last time I did was 44th in the net, but some of these losses. I read you the quads out. They're 1-10 in quad 1, which is not great. 6-0 against quad 2 teams, 6-1 against quad 3 teams, and 6-0 against quad 4 teams. They have 2 games left in this regular season as we wrap it up, and it has at Virginia Tech, which will be a quad 3 win, which they should win. If you lose this game, you're definitely out of the tournament. And then the granddaddy of them all, college game day is going back again. North Carolina versus Duke. This time we got this game at home. This will obviously be a quad 1 win. This will be a huge boost. They win this game, I think they're in. They just cannot get blown out at all. But put them in good position, and I believe they need to at least win 2 games in the ACC tournament to feel comfortable. At least get that number 4 seed. So we'll see what happens. It's been an up and down season. I feel like they're starting to pull it together a little, playing with some more confidence, playing with some little urgency, just those little tweaks. You're still getting some great production from Drake Powell, Ian Jackson, the freshman, Ellie Cadeau, RJ's doing their thing. Seth Trimble has been, I would say, he's the glue guy. He's the guy that holds his team together, in my opinion. As good as RJ has been, but this is a season there. I'm still optimistic. Still got to make the tournament. Like I said earlier in the video, it's North Carolina we're talking about. They should never be in a situation where they can't make the tournament or where they're falling behind. You see some of these teams struggling this year. Even like a powerhouse like Kansas, they went and grabbed all these transfers and have just, it's not been a good year for Kansas. They'll probably make the tournament, but just Carolina, like I said, Got to be better. And that's gonna lead me into my next point. But hopefully Carolina wins. They play tomorrow, Tuesday. Averaging Tech, they should win that game, and then, like I said, hosting Duke, so should finish out 1-1 at the worst, and then heading to the ACC tournament. So, but which leads me into a couple news and notes, a couple points. That we talked about. Hubert Davis said in an interview that they need to hire a GM, a guy at basketball operations is doing NIL and marketing. So, Carolina finally pulled the trigger and they hired a GM for basketball. Jim Tanner is the first executive director in GM. Longtime NBA agent, represents guys like Desmond Bain, Jeremy Sohan. Is a Carolina graduate, obviously. It's going to help with, like I said, the much needed marketing and fundraising for NIL to get these guys, and it's going to take less pressure off. Hubert doesn't have to worry about how much money these guys are making. Just figure out what you need and what the roster needs and get these guys in. That's the transfer portal, and got to up this recruiting. I know we did a little better this year, but it's got to get some of these guys again, man. Got to get some of these potential first-round lottery picks. Got to keep up with the rest of the college basketball with the NIL in terms of roster. And the roster, man, got to be better. Got to get some of these elite guys, man. Cannot be stumbling and struggling this hard. A couple other things. For people who want Hubert gone, I don't think it's happening. I've been definitely hard on them. I've been really pushing that gas on them. Really want them to possibly get out of here. Because like I said, he was on the verge. He was on the verge of missing the second tournament in 3 years, and that can't happen. We'll see how the season ends. But with that being said, before the season, he signed a contract extension until 2030 per Brian Murphy. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I know Roy Williams is a big advocate in the athletics facility. I know he comes to all the games, but Hubert's not going anywhere no time soon. But it's got to ump the ante, man, with this roster, and got to be better. I know he's still learning on the job. I know he made a Final Four, but that was with Roy's guys. Let's see what he can do with his guys. And another good thing, R.J. Davis, this 50-year Carolina has been a complete pro, a professional, been a complete stud in the Carolina basketball history. He'll go down as one of the greats to put on the Carolina uniform. But he moved up third all-time in ACC behind J.J. Redick, Tyler Hansbrough in terms of scoring. So he's not passing J.J. Redick, and he's not passing Tyler Hansbrough. So he'll end up finishing 3, but what a great career RJ's had. But listen, we're not done yet. Still got a lot of work to do as we finish out this week. 2 games left. And then I'll be back Saturday after the Duke game, and then tell you guys my thoughts on that. And then we'll be back as soon as we know the seeding for the ACC tournament, where Carolina stands, and then we'll be getting ready for the postseason and making a run to make this tournament, and if they can get in. Last week, like I said, it's March Madness, baby, so anything can happen. But like I said, I'm optimistic. But just want to give you guys my thoughts, my updates. Tell me what you think. Hey, it's your boy Adrian. Appreciate the love, like, subscribe the video, love the channel, show some love. Appreciate it. Hey, it's your boy Adrian, and I'm out.